The devastating power of the Pacific has reached the remote villages of western Alaska, where the remnants of Typhoon Halong have triggered record-setting coastal flooding and left a trail of immense destruction across the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta region. This storm has tragically claimed at least one life, displaced thousands, and launched a complex, ongoing search and rescue operation across a challenging and remote landscape.
Our deck is right here.
Alaska State Troopers confirmed late Monday evening that a woman was found dead in the small coastal village of Kwigillingok. While there are conflicting reports, officials also confirmed that 2 people remain unaccounted for in the same village, where the storm's fierce impact tore homes off their foundations and sent them floating into the floodwaters. In total, 51 people and 2 dogs were rescued from Kwigillingok and the nearby village of Kipnuk. Coast Guard Captain Christopher Culpepper described the situation in these communities as absolute devastation, with some survivors being plucked from rooftops or rescued after being found holding onto debris in the frigid water.
Outside my parents' house.
The storm system, which moved into the Bering Sea over the weekend, was formidable. The National Weather Service reported that the remnants of Typhoon Halong brought hurricane-force wind gusts of up to 100 miles per hour to some areas like Tuksuk Bay and 84 miles per hour to Kipnuk. The massive storm surge was equally destructive, with water in Kipnuk reaching 6.6 feet above the normal high tide level. This surge did not just break records. It surpassed the previous record set in the year 2000 by almost 2 feet, illustrating the unprecedented nature of this flooding. In Kwigillingok, the surge reached 6.3 feet, which was more than 3 feet higher than the village's previous record set in 1990.
This house moved.
The sheer force of the winds and storm surge caused catastrophic damage across the low-lying villages. Reports from Alaska's emergency management and local officials describe entire houses floating away, some with residents still trapped inside. The storm has severely downed power lines, flooded roads, and vastly reduced cell service, greatly complicating the emergency response. In a region where many communities in the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta are not connected by continuous road systems, the local airports are the only lifeline. The Alaska Department of Transportation has reported that more than 50 community airports and roads have been damaged by the storm, sinking boats, destroying boardwalks, and compromising runways, making the delivery of aid and medical evacuations exceptionally challenging. The crisis is compounded by the sheer number of displaced residents and the fast approaching winter. More than 1,400 people have been displaced by the powerful flooding and are currently being housed across 12 emergency shelters. The Alaska Rescue Coordination Center reported an overwhelming number of calls for non-critical evacuations. The Alaska National Guard, the United States Coast Guard, and the Alaska Air National Guard are all assisting in the massive search and rescue operations by air and by boat, with Governor Mike Dunleavy declaring the situation an all-hands-on-deck operation. Officials are working quickly to help affected residents, acknowledging the grim reality that damage to home heating stoves and the ruin of subsistence food stored in freezers could make the winter months extremely difficult for these remote communities. This Alaskan disaster unfolded amidst a series of severe weather events across the continental United States. On the East Coast, a nor'easter brought heavy rain, dangerous surf, and wind gusts of more than 40 miles per hour. Streets on the Jersey Shore flooded, and a Coast Guard helicopter in Massachusetts performed a rescue of a person in the water off the southern coast of Cape Cod. In the Southwest, a cool front clashed with the remnants of Tropical Storm Raymond to inundate the Phoenix area on Monday. federal forecasters confirmed that a microburst displaced 130 people from storm-damaged apartments in Tempe and brought flood-producing thunderstorms to the area. Meanwhile, Southern California has been bracing for its own rain threat, issuing evacuation warnings for areas affected by recent burn scars, including the Palisades, Hearst, and Sunset fires, due to the threat of flooding. As much as 4 inches of rain is possible in the foothills, necessitating the strategic deployment of rescue teams and helicopters by the Los Angeles Fire Department.
That Pacific is moving.
The devastation in western Alaska serves as a stark reminder of the global nature of severe weather. Typhoon Halong began as a tropical storm in the Philippine Sea, strengthened to a Category 3 typhoon before passing Japan, and its remnants traveled thousands of miles across the Pacific, maintaining Category 2 hurricane-force winds and enough energy to generate a devastating storm surge on the shores of the Bering Sea. While another storm system is expected tonight in Alaska, it is not currently forecast to be as severe, allowing rescue and recovery efforts to continue as state and federal officials assure the public that the government shutdown will not impede the critical federal assistance needed for the long road to recovery. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.